Welcome to the Offshore Club's fun-filled, fact-filled, fast-paced, blockbuster podcast, Coffee with Carib Carter, coming to you exclusively from where the sun never sets on the good life at a great price. And now, fill up your favorite coffee mug and join your expert and your guide, Carib Carter Clues.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Coffee with Carib Carter. Grab your cup. I got mine. Let me have a sip here. Today's podcast, today's episode, number 62, is going to be entirely off the wall because it is our first ever, what I would call theme show, okay? Matter of fact, the theme is so much fun and so lighthearted that I was almost going to put on my special Carib Carter hat and glasses because it's that fun filled, but I decided not to. Okay. It's just that made you because despite the fact it's lighthearted, it's serious because it's going to offer you some great opportunities. And I'm going to tell you right from the get-go that to start with, we have an interview, okay, that is going to blow you away. It's going to blow you away because I'm going to guarantee you right now, okay, going to guarantee you right now that when we get into the topic, you're going to be as shocked as I was. Okay. It's a topic that I think probably about 10% of our 10 to 15% of our offshore club members, which would be about 10 to 15,000 people, are going to be obsessed with. Okay. Because when people like this, they're obsessed with it. The rest of you, though, are going to find it both fascinating and intriguing. And you're going to realize, especially when I get to the $1,000 listing Caribbean, that it offers you a great opportunity. Okay. Now, I'll give you a hint as to the guest. Okay. You remember this guy. Whoa, Jeff Spicoi, right? And you already have met his brother, Joey Spicoi. Actually, that's not Joey Spicoi. That, as some of you may remember, is the owner, the developer at Caribbean Life Club, where I bought my home, gorgeous 2-bedroom bungalow on the ocean. He's standing in my front yard, okay? And that is Chris Barrett. And he just pulled those giant tuna out of the ocean in front of my home. And by the way, there's a home just like mine, $30,000, gorgeous home that you could get. And then you could meet Joey Spicoi, Chris Barrett. But we're going to be talking to, I'm going to call him Joey Spicoi, okay? And I just gave you a hint as to what we're going to be talking about, okay? I just gave you a hint. And as a matter of fact, let me give you another hint that deals directly with where the $1,000 listing Caribbean is in this episode, because it's going to have you say, so that's what this theme is all about today. All right. Super producer Gary, let's roll it for about 2 seconds here. Incredible. I remember them like it was yesterday, Jan and Dean. You know, they were like the Beach Boys, except there were two of them, and they sang the same kind of music. Surfin' USA. Oh, we're going to be talking about surfing Central America. You're saying, you got to be kidding me. I'm not kidding you. Wait till we get to the interview. Just a minute. Wait till we get to the interview. Then I have a motivation moment for you to finish things up in a little while. After the interview and $1,000 listing Caribbean, that is a, let me just put, I'm going to give away another book. Remember a couple weeks ago, I gave away a book. Matter of fact, I gave away this book right here, The Tools. Okay. I said, the first person sends me an email asking for it, I'm going to send you a copy. It's one of the best books I've ever read. Change your life for the better. Gives you motivation, inspiration, everything, The Tools. And Kim from Oregon sent me an email. I sent it to her. I got another book for you later. I'll tell you about it, the motivation moment, because you're going to love it. It's another book that that can be life-changing, okay? So we got a great interview coming up with Joey Spicoi, okay? He's one of these people, doesn't want his name everywhere, unlike me, Carib Carter clues up wherever. But when it comes to surfin's Central this guy has been everywhere and done everything. You're going to be shocked. You're going to be shocked at the breakers, I think they call them. All right, so we have that coming up. First, I want to do real quickly, though. It's a happy show. This is a fun show, but I have to take 1 minute to give you a little tiny Mad Max moment. Like maybe it was called an escape route moment. Look, I'm going to make this quick because I don't want to go into it. Yesterday, the Biden administration did something that is the single most frightening thing the U.S. government has done in my lifetime. I'm not going to go into it other than say this is the picture the New York Post ran. They were so shocked by what was done. Okay. That woman, Nina Jankowicz, is going to be the person that 30-something millennial who monitors every word you say with the DHS's new Disinformation Governance Board. And if you do something wrong, put her there. And that's 1984. You remember the book? I'm not going to go into it any further other than to say, if that announcement yesterday doesn't have you grabbing or setting up your plan B escape route and grabbing your passport, nothing will, especially if you value your freedom of speech, because under this, it will be gone. Gone. Can you imagine the title of in the United States of America, setting up a disinformation governance board to review everything you say and write? I wish I were making it up. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to send out an email this week where I lay it all out for you, because I don't want you to be in a position where you become subject to that. And that's why you need to know what your escape route is. I'm going to lay it all out in an email. If you don't already subscribe to the Offshore Club Gazette, the Offshore Club's daily newsletter, which is free, absolutely free. All you have to do is offshore.club, sign up for it, okay? And when you do that, you also get I send out a couple really personal emails to members, just to Offshore Club members every week. And I promise, and this week, I'm going to send out an email covering this for you so you'll know what's at stake in your life when it comes to what were your First Amendment rights. Okay, so there we go. But so enough of that, though. Enough of that. This is the happy theme session of Coffee with Carib Carter. See our logo there? Isn't that gorgeous? And so we're going to get back on theme here. Because I think it's just one of the most exciting things that we've talked about yet. Okay, because already, if you're a regular member of the Carib Carter Coffee Cadre, you know that the price of property in Central and South America is incredible. You remember the Carib Carter 10% factor? You can get a home there for a tenth of the cost of what you'd pay here, whether it's a cozy cottage like I bought. I told you $30,000 that I got from Joey Spicoi, Chris Barrett. It would cost at least $300,000 to $400,000 here in a comparable location, maybe probably more. If you buy a $1 million home down there, it would cost you $3 to $4 million up here, easily, maybe as much as $10 million. Okay, it's the 10% factor. All right, so because I'm talking about gorgeous beach, that would be a beachfront mansion. Okay, in Central or South America, like at GrandPacifica.com. You've seen we've talked about some of the gorgeous, huge homes there that you can get for maybe $180,000, $200,000 that would cost you 10 times as much, $2 million at least up here. So 10% factor plus your cost of living is a quarter of what it is up here, which really helps when you're facing what the Federal Reserve data distributor said day before yesterday is really 25% inflation in this country on the goods that reflect most at what you pay for in order to lead your daily life. So excellent, making your move down there. So you know all those advantages, but we're talking about one now that is you would have never thought of. And to get us right back on the theme here, here's another quick video that I just love, that really sets the tone for what we're going to be talking about. We're going straight after this into the interview with Surfer Boy. Okay, so here we go. Roll it, Gary. Let's roll it.
With a warm tropical climate welcoming people in excellent surf, El Salvador has been rising as an up-and-coming destination for visitors all over the world.
Okay, now that is surfing at its best. Okay, that's right, surfing at its best. And you might be saying you can hardly believe that we're really talking about Central America here, because you just don't think about that when you think of Central America. But the fact is, Central America has some of the best surfing on the face of the earth. Some of you who are really diehard surfers, who are club members of surfers, already know that. But to give us the entire lowdown on it, so you know exactly what I am almost guessing about, because I don't surf. As some of you know, I don't even like water. But doesn't mean I don't like the beach, and I like to watch the surfers do that curl, whatever stuff they do. Let's talk to a genuine world-class surfer who has been everywhere and done everything, and is going to tell us what it's really like to go on a surfing safari south of the border. Joey, welcome. Welcome, Joey Spicoi. It's great to see you.
Oh,
You look like a surfer, dude. Let's talk surfing Central America. I can't believe it.
Thank goodness God invented Central America. I grew up surfing Jersey, and it's cold up there. But boy, we get south of the border, and everything starts to get a lot better. Yeah, I've been first started surfing. Well, let me put it to you this way: if life was a football game, I would be past halftime. Let me put it to you that way. Okay. I've been surfing for over 40 years and have had the privilege and the honor of hitting most of the major spots around the world. My favorites are Central America. I've been a couple of good trips down to Costa Rica, a couple to El Salvador, and to surf anywhere up and down the entire western coast of Central America. Doesn't matter if it's Mexico, Panama, heck, even all the way down to Chile. The surf over there is fantastic. It's uncrowded. The beaches are beautiful. The people are awesome. And the cost, it's a tenth of what you would spend on a surf trip to Hawaii or Australia. These places are just fantastic. Carter, what about you? You've been out there on the board at all back in your day? What's up?
I already told the folks before you came on that I hate water. There is no way you would get me on a surfboard. When I was a kid, and I told the folks this already, we would go to Ocean City in the summer because I grew up in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I didn't even like to get in the sand, let alone the surf. So you and I are total opposites, but I always, I admired, but also could never understand what the heck you guys were doing out there. It looked like to me, it was suicidal.
Yeah. But when you fall into a big, warm Pacific Ocean bath, oh, it's great. Because I skateboard too, and I've taken my wipeouts. I've taken my share of spills and falls. And it's way better to wipe out in the ocean than it is on the hard concrete all day long. And like I said about everything is great about Central America. So these surf trips I was taking, Carter, I'd fly down, I'm US based. So I'd fly to either Miami or Dallas. Those are your two main airports to then hop into the Central American countries. And it's just a few hour flight. So Costa Rica, for example, there are flights that go to the capital of the city of the country, San Jose, but there are also flights that go into a smaller airport called Tamarindo. And from Tamarindo Airport, and you can get a direct flight from Miami and Dallas into Tamarindo, Costa Rica. You go into Tamarindo, and you're 30 minutes away from some of the greatest surf on the entire planet. That's it, 30 minutes away.
In
The ocean
Costa Rica.
temperature is in the 80s, the air temperature is in the 90s, and the palm trees are swaying in the breeze.
Costa Rica. This is Costa Rica.
Yep.
Costa Rica. I'll guarantee you, if you ask, see if you agree with this. If right now you went out and asked 1,000 people, what do you think of when you think of Central America? I will guarantee you not one would say surfing. Right?
Yeah, well, it does depend just a little bit on who your audience is.
Right.
If you go to Southern California and you're out there in the ocean on a nice surfing day, here's the upside, and the great thing is that Southern California has great waves. The weather is fantastic. Everything's beautiful, but the surf is really, really crowded. You ask anyone out there, and you could be out in a surf break in California with several dozen or even 100 or 200 people. That's no problem. If you ask every one of them, they'll all tell you about how great Mexico and Central America is for surfing, because they've all either been there or they're dreaming about going. Everybody knows.
Really?
It's not a secret. In other words, people have been doing it for a long time, but there are still some concerns from people. Oh, Central America, gee, Carter, that sounds dangerous. Well, look, I live near a city in America that is one of the highest murder rates in the entire world. Get me to Central America so I can feel safe again, for crying out loud.
And as you said, we just showed here before you came on, there's a property down there that I'm trying to, and you'll see it later, a property right down there in El Salvador near La Libertad, that for $230,000, it's huge beachfront, right? That I'm trying to, I said on, I'm talking on the show about getting people together to I'm going to, when I show them the property, let's join up and invest. 230,000, you would pay 4 million in this country. And I guarantee you, from what you've told me, surfers, if they love it, they're going to be willing to pay and come down and stay and surf there, right?
Oh, the setup. First of all, I've surfed Libertad twice. I absolutely love that place. I love the wave. It is the place where I had my longest single ride of my entire surfing experience and career. It sets way up in the back, but it's a very forgiving wave. It's very long. It's called a right, which means it moves from left to right down the beach, and it's God's hand in the ocean, that wave. It really is spectacular. The people are awesome. And the cold beers are waiting for you when you're done. But you go down to Libertad, that's a great place to kind of get yourself set, because El Salvador is not a very big country, but there's great surfing in the entire nation. So you start there, you're centrally located, the properties are inexpensive. If I bought a place, because I'm looking to buy a place in Central America on the beach right now, if I bought a place anywhere in these surf areas, I would buy a place big enough, and this is the key, big enough, or it has what they call a bungalow or a pool house or an in-law cabin. These are different terms that we use in the United States.
Right.
I would buy a place that had that setup big enough, or with another little cabin on the side, so that I could rent it out, because the surfers would come in the summertime in droves. That's the season in Central America. The surf season in Central America is when you don't want to be there. It's in the summertime. So you're there in the winter. Guess what? You can make enough money from June through September, renting it out to surfers, to pay for the place for the full year and your plane tickets down there with nothing out of your pocket. How could you not do that?
Yeah, it's just incredible. I'll tell you what, when you see this show and you see this property, let's talk about it, because I've said if we can get some of $230,000, and I'll bet we can get it for 200. You always offer less.
Right.
And everything you just described, this property has. And I had no idea how good the surfing was. Of course, I wouldn't, because
you don't like the water.
I don't like the water. It's a very simple game. So how about so El Salvador is fantastic. How about Nicaragua? We know that Mike Cobb, who is one of our partners in the Offshore Club, has Grand Pacific in Nicaragua. What about
Grand Pacifica? The waves down there in June, July, August, and September are perfect, because they've got the Lake Nicaragua, which is a little bit inland. It blows these winds from the lake, and it blows them west. The surf comes moving east. The winds come from the west. When they collide, they make perfect waves. That's what the bottom line is. They groom the water. They help keep the waves up. And Grand Pacifica is right where that action is. And again, it's centrally located. So if there's waves you want to go see up north, you can drive up there in 1 hour. You want to go south and get waves down there, you're there in 30 minutes. I've checked it out on the maps already. I personally haven't surfed Nicaragua, but like I said, I've been to Costa Rica and El Salvador many times, and the waves down there are fantastic. The people are awesome. They're great cultures too. They share the waves, they share their food, they share their beer, they share their culture, they share the excitement and the enthusiasm of being stoked with this great surf. And the investment opportunities are incredible because you're down there in the wintertime. If you're an American-based, Canadian-based, European-based customer, you're down there when it's cold for us. That's great. The waves are okay down there in the winter, but they're really peaking in the summertime when you're back here with your families or at the beaches in the north. Rent it out. You'll make enough money over a year. Surfers will do anything to get great surf. They'll go anywhere and they'll spend any kind of money. I know surfers that have been down to Antarctica. Like these people, they're loose in the head, Carter. They're not right in the head. They have been to Antarctica to surf. They'll go anywhere in the world. They'll pay any amount of money. They'll do anything they have to do to get good waves. And the surf is awesome down there all summer long. Great.
It is incredible. Now, I think you told me I have a place, as you know, I have two homes in Honduras. One is inland at a small town, El Calan, but the other is right on at La Ceiba, which is right on the water. But you said the Honduran waves are not great for surfing. Is that right?
Yeah, Belize and Honduras and some of the west coast of Mexico, the waves aren't very good because of the barrier reef, which, by the way, is the best barrier reef in all of North and South America for scuba diving and snorkeling. Yeah. So there's another great opportunity to be there. But if you look at Nicaragua and Panama and Costa Rica, which have long Caribbean coastal regions, the surf is really great there, but it's the other time of year. It's in the winter because the winter storms form in the Atlantic and push down through the Southern Caribbean in the wintertime. The surf is fantastic in Costa Rica and Nicaragua in the wintertime. It's fantastic, but there's no surf in Honduras or Belize because of the barrier reef. It kind of blocks them out. But so I'm going to buy a beachfront property, probably Nicaragua in the next 12 months or less. I could be convinced some other country, but it probably will be Nicaragua. I'll surf there in the summer, and in the winter, I'll just take a day trip, drive over to the Caribbean, Nicaraguan, or Costa Rican coast, spend a weekend surfing over there. And if I want to go up into the mountains, I can hike up a volcano, which will be a half an hour away from where I live. If I want to go whitewater rafting, that's a half an hour in a different direction. If I want to go slingshotting through the forest, I can do that slingshot stuff through the forest. That's a half hour another way. If I want to watch the monkeys and the birds, that's right out my back door. If I just want to throw a hammock up between two palm trees and drink a nice cold beer after surfing all day, well, by goodness, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
All right. We're almost out of time, but tell us about whether it's in Central America or elsewhere, what is the most unique surfing experience you've ever had?
All right. Well, I was all the way out.
What did you do?
Listen to this. I was all the way out at the end of the world in Indonesia. Indonesia, literally the other side of the world from where I live. The plane trip alone took 2 days. I finally get out. There was no plane out to the islands. You had to take a ferry, a 12-hour ferry ride from the mainland out to these remote islands. They're so remote that people don't even inhabit them. Like, they are uninhabited islands. And we're staying at a small surf resort. We get on the boat. We drive on the boat almost an hour. We passed a half a dozen islands, none of them inhabited, all of them abandoned for some reason. In other words, if I went any further, Carter, I would have fallen into space. That's how far away I was from civilization, society, and any other human being. 2-day plane ride, 12-hour ferry ride, and another 1-hour boat ride, and no one is around. There's 4 of us surfing this wave for 2 hours. 2 hours into it, this big catamaran shows up. Big catamaran, throws anchor, and 20 Australians jump out. And I said, how in the heck did you find us? Like I said to begin with, though, surfers will go anywhere, they'll do anything, and they'll spend any amount of money to find good, uncrowded surf. And that is exactly what Central America is full of. Good, uncrowded, low-cost surf. So get a part of it. Get on the wave. Do it now before I buy it all myself.
Okay. All right, Joey Spicoi. Folks, he has just given you yet another reason to, to make your move south of the border, make that investment. And as I always tell the folks, let's do this thing. Joey, thank you. It has
Hang
been
10,
fantastic.
dudes. I'll see you soon. Peace out.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you. There you go, folks. The most unique interview we've ever done on Coffee with Carib Carter. Incredible. I told you, this guy is a genuine surfer, okay? A genuine surfer. He really rides the waves, whatever the terminology they use is, in ways that I can honestly God say in my entire life, I never, ever wanted to do. Matter of fact, I'm going to be honest with you. When I was a kid and my family went to the ocean every summer, Ocean City, Maryland, we went to. When you're raised in Baltimore City, you go down the ocean. Hey, man, we're going down the ocean. My family would every summer. I didn't even go in the water, in the tiny foot waves or whatever they were called. So, but that gentleman knows of what he speaks. And if you look at it this way, if you're a surfer, you now know where to go. But not just to visit, buy a home there. Buy a home there. Grand Pacifica, the breakers there. Remember in El Salvador, you have ECI Development's new development at El Azante, Bitcoin Beach. Those waves right there. Buy at Grand Pacifica, because you can go down anytime you want to surf then all year round. It costs you next to nothing because the prices are so low in Central America. And you can invite all your friends down. You have surfer parties, if that's what surfers do. So there you've got it. Just absolutely incredible. And just to drive the point home more, let's look now at a property from where I just showed you the video in El Salvador. We're going to look at a property at, let me get the name right here. I got so many papers. It's unbelievable today. Okay. First of all, we're going to El Salvador. I always like to show you the map. I think it's the tiniest country, maybe the tiniest country in the area. See El Salvador there? Okay. Little red country. I guess it's not the tiniest. I guess that Costa Rica looks even tinier, but it's tiny. Okay, El Salvador. They should change the name to El Surfador. And we are going to an oceanfront property in La Libertad, El Salvador that is absolutely fantastic. That's here. I like to do the long shot in the close-up. Here's the closer up. There's Libertad. See, it's right on the water where the big breakers come in. Okay. Playa San Diego. Okay. Right there. That's where the property is that we're going to be looking at. Here's the nearby community. I always like communities since I'm not a water person. I like to go sip coffee at the coffee shop at the community. So everything you want is right there. The property. Okay. Let's take a look here. Here we go. Again, this is Vivian. Okay. I love Vivian. I get a lot of emails from you all saying you've been to Vivian. You like it now. People are starting to pick up properties from there. Okay. See the number. If you want to look at this property, look at the number. Let me do this right here. Okay. See the number there? Okay. Remember, you just go into the little box in the upper right-hand corner when you go to vivian.com, type in that number, and it's going to take you straight to this property. Okay. This property. Let me describe it for you. And let me preface it with this. This is so good, this property, that if a couple of you want to go in together, I will be a co-investor. Okay. Because I think this is not an expenditure. This is an investment. Okay. I'm going to give you the price up front because I want to tell you I want you to, as we're looking at it, I want you to realize what a great investment it is. $225,000. Okay. That's it for everything I'm about to tell you. Okay. So if several of us get together, we've got an investment that's going to pay for years and years and years income, cash flow and equity, both. Best of both worlds. So here we go. Large beachfront property on Playa San Diego. Okay. What we just saw. Okay. 3 lots wide on the Pacific Ocean. Okay. 3 lots wide on the Pacific Ocean. It's a former resort waiting to be redeveloped. You know, the redevelopment is not going to take that much. I'll just be honest with you. Producer of this show, Gary, he could go down here and he could spend 2 months, because he can do everything, and have this place back up to par as a prime resort community within 2 months. I'm going to guarantee that. Okay. 3 lots wide, former resort waiting to be redeveloped. It has the home. Oh, I have another view here. Let's look here. Here's a view that actually shows you. Okay, there's what we're talking about here. Okay, 3 lots wide, right on the ocean. Look at the breakers coming in. This is right offshore. This picture is offshore. When I told you we're doing the surfing theme today, hey folks, this is real. This is real, and surfers will spend, as Joey Spicoi just told us, they'll spend anything if they can find the waves they love. They're going to find the waves they love here. So here you have the large palapa, which even now is being rented out for weddings and family gatherings and such. Okay, very, very, very nice. Here's the view out from inside the palapa. One of the homes there, remember the home I told you, two bedroom, 3 bath. Okay, all right. Covered 6-car garage. Okay. Here's another view out from the palapa of the pool. Okay. Of the pool right there. All right. All this is there in this. This is a resort community. Just waiting for somebody to come and turn it back on. Okay. There's a couple of people. A couple of us get together and invest it. Another shot of the pool. See the homes in the background? See the homes in the background right there on the property, ready to be rented out. Has a restaurant on the property, caretaker's quarters, covered 6-car garage. Okay. And don't forget the palapa has its own kitchen area. So it is, yeah, I think you can start to see it there. See right off the palapa there, the own kitchen. It's everything you want. This is everything you want. If you're looking for, you can live there, okay? Especially if you're a surfer yourself, you're going to love living there, because you walk down to the beach and with your surfboard and hit the waves, whatever the terminology is. But even if you're not, this is a property for a bargain price. And remember that the Carib Carter's 10% factor? 225, so that would be 2,250,000. This would be 4 million anywhere in the U.S. with that kind. Look, anywhere in the U.S. where you own all of that, you're going to be paying 4 to 5 million, especially when it's prime surfing property. Okay, prime surfing property. This is an incredible deal. And I am encouraging you. Check it out at Vivian, and if you're interested, write to me write to my personal email address, clclues@gmail.com, clews@gmail.com. Get a couple of us together and do this thing, and then we'll make sure Gary's one of the partners, so we have somebody who can turnkey and get it up and operating again. Then we get the cash flow plus the equity, which is going to build, because this is prime resort property. Okay, so there you got it. This is, to me, one of the most exciting $1,000 listing Caribbeans that we've done. Let me show it to you again. There you go. Check it out for yourself. They're like right there at this Vivian site, this page. They're like, looks like about 12 or 14 pictures. Okay, check it out. If you want to get together on it, clews@gmail.com. See if we can put this thing together. Okay, See if we can put this thing together. As I always say, where's my cup? Where's my cup? Let's do this thing, okay? I talk my mouth dry. I'm so excited about it. And to give us a little extra motivation, okay? Little extra motivation to really do this thing. I'm going to recommend a book to you. I'm not going to show you a video today. I'm going to recommend a book to you like I did a couple of weeks. The first person that emails me, I'm going to send you a free copy of this book. I have to show you a picture of it because I'm reading it on the Kindle. And showing you on the Kindle is a black little box. That's all it is. That's the book, The Birth of a Brand. Brian Smith. What's fascinating is Brian Smith is the guy who brought Uggs, those boots, the Uggs boot. I know some of you wear them, to America from Australia. And when you read this book, he's a surfer. Okay, that's his whole life. That's why he realized these books would be great for surfers and for skiers. And eventually now it's $1 billion company and everybody's wearing them. But he says something in the book that I think is inspirational for all of us who are thinking of moving offshore, but may be afraid to take the first step. The fact of the matter is, when you take the first step, the doors open up for you. Let me read, I think it's page 23 from this book that I just showed you, The Birth of a Brand. It's a very inspiring book. It's about, marketing, but it's also very inspirational, very deeply spiritual. Let me read you what he says. This is the key, he said, to him taking it from one pair of boots he sold to $1 billion industry. Once you set a new course and take action, the universe will conspire to work with you. Okay? He calls it the universe. I call it God. In AA, which I'm a member of, we call it the higher power. In the book, The Tools, okay? Remember that I gave away a couple weeks ago? They call it the force, okay? That's what those authors call it. Okay, but he calls it the universe. The universe will conspire to work with you, okay? I'm sure everyone has seen this concept discussed in one way or another, whether it's called manifestation or prayer, or just starting on your path while being open to the signs that the universe will send you. It's been an important part of how I do business, and it's always worked. When I've begun a new venture, like I want you to begin a new venture, making your move offshore to the good life at a great price offshore, that I truly felt was my destined path, and I think it's yours, or you wouldn't be a member of the Offshore Club. You wouldn't be watching Coffee with Carib Carter, because that's what we're all about. Things fall into place, and people come into your life to help make it happen. Okay, it's all a matter of you taking that first step. All a matter of you just deciding, yeah, I'm going to do it. Looking at that, like that property I just showed you, that incredible $1,000 listing, Caribbean property in El Salvador on the waves, a surfing paradise, going for $225,000, which would be $2 to $4 million up here easily, if you could find it. And you can't. You and I both know you can't nowadays. But once you make that decision, then the universe, that he calls it, or God as I call it, would step up to help you. When I was a kid, my father used to quote this scripture verse, okay? The greatness of our opportunities. Can you see what it says there? Behold, this is a promise from God, or Brian might call it the universe. Stoltz, the guys who wrote the book last week, might call it the force. Behold, I have set before you an open door, and no man can shut it. Isn't that a great thought? Isn't that a great thought? And it's absolutely true. I remember John Kennedy once saying, the journey of 1,000 miles has begun with a single step. Well, I'm urging you, my plea with you almost, is take that step. Set up your book, I called earlier, escape route, plan B escape route, or just the joy of taking hold of your own future and taking hold of your own life and making it happen. Okay. I always say dreaming big and living large. Okay. That's what this is all about. That's what that book's all about. Don't forget, the first person who emails me, clclues@gmail.com. I'll send you a free copy. Let me know how you like it. I think you're going to love it just like I do. You're going to find it inspiring, motivational, And it's going to help you as you make your decision to head down to the sun, sand, and surf and surfing, as we talked about today, in Central and South America. So let's do this thing.